Hi guys and dolls, hi ladies and gentlemen, and hi fellow subscribers, aka Unmentionables. Thank you for being my loyal subscribers, and thank you for giving me a reason to make these YouTube videos. This is Jake, FT98, or Foolproof Tag 98, switch between those names whatever you want, they're the same person, bringing you another quality YouTube video. This video is going to be on Battlefield 4, a game which I haven't recently been playing as such, because I've been playing the likes of Destiny and Gotham City Imposters. If any of you are interested, then they're in my channel. And this video is going to be addressing a long issue which I wanted to do a video for, but I actually sidetracked it for other projects. This is going to be on barrel misalignment and the issues involving weapon tilt and weapon swing regarding Battlefield 4, especially with shotguns with slugs, which this is specially for. If you use other weapons, this might apply to weapons other weapons in general, and other games such as Call of Duty, and games which are part of the realistic first-person shooters, army-based, stuff like that. So in Battlefield 4, if any of you's got Battlefield 4, I want you to turn on test range, pull out a shotgun with an ordinary red dot or whatever you arm it with slugs. Make sure it's slugs. Go down to where the target practice is and just shoot some targets on the stress. Okay, not as if like it's target practice. Shoot as if they're shooting back at you. Imagine this is a real situation. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that you will not get most of your shots on target. Why? Because A, the hollow sight isn't the best of all of the red dots, and the red dots in general are not good for hitting long range targets if you bother to try that far in the first place. 2, slugs are not sniper bullets. They do drop off, and it depends on different weapon you've got. And C, you might have actually exhibited some weapon tilt or some weapon swing when trying to shoot these targets. I know it's going to be a lot more prevalent with older pads or pads that are slightly worn, but it might happen with newer pads, and it might just happen as a coincidence. So I'm actually going to explain to you what weapon tilt and what weapon swing is, because they're two different terms and they're two different meanings. So I'm going to demonstrate with my Remington 870 up in the sky. So weapon tilt is when your man is moving left to right, and although the target, well, his aim is still in the same place as such, when he's moving to the right and moving to the left, what happens is the rear sight tilts at a slight angle to the right and to the left depending on the respective direction he's going. The left stick has a small dead zone, or medium small dead zone, which means that if you've got an older pad, or maybe it might just be where your thumb is under stress, or you're holding it down slightly to the right without actually putting it into a considerable position, considerable position, what happens is your man might tilt the gun, but he may not be moving as well. So you might not actually notice it because it's a very small change. Weapon swing is a different matter. Weapon swing is, well, this is prevalent if you guys play with aim assist, but if you do play with aim assist and you hip firing, you may feel this a lot, okay? And high sensitivity people as well, you are not exempt. You are definitely not exempt. So what happens is when you turn your actual point of aim, your man's rear sight will become misaligned, and it will feel as if the rear part of the gun, i.e. the part of the gun which he's holding, and his hands and his wrists will swing a lot further than the front of the barrel. This is actually contradictory to Call of Duty, where if you've actually seen those 360 quick scopes, the majority of the turn of the gun are relative to the gun's barrel and not to the man's wrists and hands. It can also depend on the types of sights you're using, because with iron sights it's prevalent, but with red dots it's the same as the iron sights, but with say 4x scopes, which is the maximum scopes you can get for shotguns, you can literally feel the swing, as because of it comes a given with higher magnification, and that can cause all sorts of problems if your gun's not using a muzzle brake, or you're not really good with recoil cancelling, whole load of variables. That's a different story. But what I will say is, you think Battlefield 4's swing was bad, Battlefield 3's was a lot worse. I'm not sure if it might have been my sensitivity settings or the different degrees of intensity varied between the different games, but when I was playing Battlefield 3, it felt like Battlefield 3 swing was a lot worse than Battlefield 4's. Anyway, Another variable which you might want to take into consideration is the type of shotgun you're actually using, because different shotguns, the way their irons work, sometimes the rear sight might occlude the first sight, the front post, a lot more than others. So you might want to experiment. I've done it for you in this video. You might want to use this as a gauge to see which sights work for you and which sights don't, and to help you generally when using shotguns with slugs. What I will say as a fix is to use a laser sight, because laser sights are very accurate, they're pinpoint, and they're a lot more accurate than the rear sight you're using. Because under stress, let's say you're swinging around and say another man comes around the corner after killing the first. Your laser sight might tell you that your front barrel is not aligned with your rear sight, and if you shoot you're going to miss, and you're going to say, oh, it might be netcode and stuff like that, when really the laser sight is actually attached to the front barrel, which means it's a lot more accurate to tell if you're going to hit your target rather than the rear sight. So hopefully that helped you guys. The laser sight trick does help me a lot. I always use it on most of my guns. I like to use iron sights, but I do prefer using a reflex, but that's up to personal preference. And hopefully those tips actually helped you today. I'm going to show you a few clips of when I actually got my shots on target, and sometimes you might see a few deaths where I've tried to clip guys a bit too fast, my shooting was a bit wrong, or weapon tilt or weapon swing was there, and you can just roughly tell in, say, a real life scenario what would happen if you were in a proper game and you might exhibit these things. Let's just say you won't have a good game. Alright, so I'm going to leave you with this footage, and hopefully I've given you another quality video. This has been FT98 or Jake signing off for today, and hopefully you stay subscribed to my channel, and I'm not going to beg you to do it, but if you do like, stick around and there'll be a lot more for you. Okay, see you. Bye.
Here's your meds. Hostile soldier spotted. Here's your meds. Pick it up. Here's your med. Spot an enemy machine gun. I spotted a hostile soldier.
We are winning this one, boys. Keep it up.
Fire spotted a hostile soldier. Go get it.
The lead is ours. Let's keep it. Come on.